Moosltoe. It's moose. And mistletoe is like some type of plant. Sometimes when people hang it, then they would kiss underneath the mistletoe. But this one's called Moosltoe because that's a moose. 'Twas the season, and Moose was merry. He joyfully tickled the ivories with his tuneful of tidings and a flurry of fa-la-las. He was so full of ho-ho-hos, even his moustache had the holiday spirit. He's a moose with a big mustache. But Moose was more than just a bit merry and bright. He was busy, busy, busy. There was a lot to be done on his list of to-dos. But with orderly organization, a bit of regimentation, lots of imagination, and just plain old Moose know-how, getting ready for the big day should have been simple, easy. Yes, in all probability, just perfectly perfect. He has all these huge list of things to do, but he thinks he can do it. He wasted not one merry minute. Moose got moving and put some hustle into the holiday bustle. He went to work, he wrote cards and letters till his hooves hurt. Check. He shopped till he dropped. Check. He hauled home boxes and bags and presents galore. Moose had gifts for everyone stacked from ceiling to floor. Check, check, check. Then he rapped, yo, 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 and he ribboned, ho, ho, ho. And on each and every package he tied a big, beautiful bow. Check and double check. So far, so simple, so easy, so perfectly perfect. Another look at the list, and Moose headed for the kitchen. He pulled out the pots, pans, and bowls, sifted through stacks and racks of cookbooks. He whisked with his left, spooned with his right. Moose baked tons of tins of cookies, check. Dozens of cakes, breads, and sweets, check, check, check. He made jellies, sticky jams. Moose roasted a goose and some chestnuts. He toasted marshmallows and yams, check, 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 triple check. Yes, yes, so simple, so easy. But of course, so perfectly perfect. He really does have a lot to do, doesn't he? Decorations were up next on his list of things to do and get done. So Moose decked the halls and spruced up the walls. He beaded, bowed, and mistletoed. He gathered garlands, roped wreaths, and holly, jingled bells, sang Noels. Oh, good golly, this Moose was jolly. Check, 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 check. Last but not least, he hung all the stockings, each and every one with special care, and just in time too. Soon, Santa would be there. Check and final check. Yes, sirree, getting ready for Christmas was an absolute snap. And so simple, so easy. And if he did say himself, Moose thought totally, utterly, completely, perfectly perfect. On that night before Christmas, Mother, little Sissy, Bucky, and Junior looked all through the house. What a job Moose had done. Everything looked bountiful, festive, quite fine indeed. There was just one minor problem, if you will. Oh dear, sighed the missus and the 5 stared at one empty corner. Oh my, oh me, oh gee. Pop, what happened? Cried Junior. You forgot the tree. Oh, not a Christmas tree. Oops! Where would he hang the tinsel, string the popcorn, light the lights? Where would Santa leave his gifts for the kiddies on Christmas Eve night? So, Moose pulled on his galoshes and put on his hat. He would find a tree somewhere, somehow. And that's all there was to that. So, out went the moose, braving blustering, blowing winds and cold, trudging through snowdrifts, courageous and bold. He's going to look for a Christmas tree. He forgot. Moose first hoofed it down the corner, not a tree to be had. Then he slid around the block. Uh-oh, things were looking bad. Look, they're all sold out at the Christmas tree farms. So he went down every boulevard, street, and little road. He looked down lanes and alleys. Every tree had been sold. There wasn't a branch, not a twig, not even one lousy bowless bow hanging around. Nope, not a nothing. Not a tree to be found. That's not lucky. No tree, sighed a sad moose as he came home empty-handed that snowy eve. The kids tried to make the best of it. They said, "Oh, so who needs a tree?" But Moose could plainly see they were short on the glee. Glee means happy. He knew he had to do something, and that's just what he did. In the empty corner, he stood and spread his arms out very wide. Then he smiled at his children, and he winked at his bride. That's his wife. "Kids," he declared, "fetch your forgetful pop some of that tried and true family glop." So back came the kids carrying a big pot of glue, and without a word to one another, they knew just what to do. They each took a part, grabbing strands, taking hold, and carefully, oh so carefully, they glopped and they plopped, they pasted, they pressed, they curled, they twirled every which way a follicle could fathom, until Moose's magnificent moustache was indeed even more of a marvel to see. Moose was just a few needles shy of being an evergreen tree. They strung Moose with lights from his head to his toes and draped him with tinsel, beginning right with his nose. They hung balls that were shiny and bells that twinkled, candy canes, berries, and plump sugar sprinkled. Then they all stood back. Junior plugged in his pop. Ooh, ah, yes. Moose truly was one incredible sight. He was glorious and glowing, and boy, oh boy, was he ever bright. Then Junior placed the star on top of Moose's head. He gave him a kiss and a pat, and they all headed off to bed. Except Moose, of course. He stayed in the corner instead, still twinkling and blinking and waiting for Santa. Oh, so it wasn't so simple, and it wasn't so easy, and okay, it wasn't so perfectly perfect. But do you know what? It was pretty close. So, he was trying to do a lot of stuff, and he kind of lost track a little bit there and didn't get a tree on accident. And then he just decided to be the tree. And you should probably keep in mind that your parents around Christmas time are doing a lot of work. They're doing a lot of things just like he was doing. The moose was doing. So Is it real or make-believe? It's make-believe because a moose family would not do any of this stuff. And but we get to learn from it. The characters in the story are the moose and his family, and probably Santa at the end. And the setting is inside Moose's house mostly. And at the beginning of the story, Moose was very busy getting ready for Christmas, and he was doing everything, like all kinds of things. And then in the middle of the story, he realized that he forgot the tree. And at the end of the story, he decided to be the tree, and he let his family wrap him up and decorate him like a tree. But then he had to stand there all night and wait. Santa came, at least he had a place to put the gifts, right?